As the excitement around Kendrick Lamar's upcoming performance at the Super Bowl halftime show builds, one debate has surfaced that has everyone talking. Should Kendrick perform his rumored diss track, Not Like Us? It's not just fans who are weighing in on the matter, but also two prominent voices in the hip-hop world, Charlamagne Tha God and Andrew Schulz, who are offering their perspectives on whether or not Kendrick should go there. Charlamagne Tha God, known for his bold opinions and no-holds-barred commentary, recently shared his thoughts on the subject. In his view, performing a diss track at such a massive event would be a mistake. "We never saw Drake do back-to-back on a big stage," Charlamagne said, referencing one of the most famous rap beefs of the last decade. His point was clear. The Super Bowl is not the place for a diss record, especially one that could cause tension between two of the biggest names in hip-hop. But not everyone agrees with Charlamagne's take. Andrew Schulz, a comedian and podcast host who has spent years dissecting pop culture and its impact, argued that Kendrick should absolutely perform the track. According to Schulz, not doing so could make Kendrick seem soft or hypocritical, especially given his previous criticisms of artists like Drake. Schulz believes that Kendrick has built his brand on challenging the status quo, speaking truth to power, and not shying away from controversy. To back down now, Schulz argues, would undermine everything Kendrick has stood for. This clash of opinions sets the stage for a much deeper conversation about Kendrick's artistry, his public persona, and the larger cultural implications of his Super Bowl performance. The stakes are high. The Super Bowl is one of the most watched events in the world, and every move Kendrick makes during his halftime show performance will be scrutinized by millions of eyes. So, should Kendrick lean into the controversy and perform Not Like Us? Or should he avoid the drama and go for something safer? To understand why this debate matters, it's important to first look at the history behind Not Like Us. For months now, fans have speculated about this unreleased track. It's rumored to be a diss aimed at Drake, and the idea of Kendrick performing it on a global stage like the Super Bowl would be groundbreaking. The song has become something of a myth within the hip-hop community, with fans anxiously waiting for Kendrick to drop it officially. Some believe that Kendrick has been holding it back for the perfect moment, and what better stage than the Super Bowl to unleash such a bombshell? However, there's a reason Charlamagne Tha God is hesitant about Kendrick performing the track. When Drake released Back-to-Back, his scathing diss track aimed at Meek Mill, it became a defining moment in modern rap beefs. But despite its success and the widespread buzz it generated, Drake never performed back-to-back on a massive stage. Charlamagne points out that, despite the record's success, Drake didn't take the opportunity to bring the beef into the limelight during a high-profile event like the Super Bowl. Why? Because there's a fine line between friendly competition and publicly airing dirty laundry, and Charlamagne believes that doing so at such a prestigious event could escalate the situation in ways Kendrick might not want. On the flip side, Andrew Schulz has a very different perspective. He sees Kendrick's artistic identity as being rooted in authenticity, defiance, and a refusal to back down from confrontation. In Schulz's view, Kendrick has never been one to shy away from speaking his mind, especially when it comes to his criticisms of the industry. For years, Kendrick has called out the corporatization of hip-hop and the mainstream industry's tendency to favor commercially viable, watered-down music over more substantive, thought-provoking work. He's criticized artists like Drake for being more focused on their brand and image than on true artistic expression. Given this history, Schulz argues that Kendrick should absolutely perform Not Like Us. For him, it's not just about the song itself. It's about Kendrick staying true to his core beliefs. Schulz's concern is that, if Kendrick doesn't take this opportunity to express himself fully, he could come across as soft or even hypocritical. After all, if Kendrick has been calling out others for being too polished and commercial, it would be contradictory for him to pull back on a track that embodies his most unfiltered thoughts. Performing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl would send a message that Kendrick is not afraid to confront the industry head-on, even at the risk of angering one of its biggest stars. What Schulz is really getting at is the idea that Kendrick's music isn't just about entertainment. It's about pushing boundaries and challenging the norms of the hip-hop world. If Kendrick shies away from the controversy, it might signal that he's willing to play by the rules of the very system he spent years criticizing. That would be a disservice not only to his fans, but to his entire artistic legacy. For Schulz, Kendrick performing the track isn't just a way to stir up drama. It's a way to stay true to who he is. At the heart of this debate lies a fundamental question about Kendrick's identity as an artist. He's built his career on being fearless, whether he's rapping about social justice, his struggles with fame, or his personal experiences growing up. Kendrick has always been willing to take risks, even if it means putting himself in the line of fire. His music isn't designed to please everyone. It's designed to make people think. And part of what makes Kendrick such a compelling artist is his willingness to step into uncomfortable spaces and challenge the status quo. The Super Bowl halftime show, with its global audience and massive platform, could be the perfect place for Kendrick to make a bold statement. If he performs Not Like Us, it would send shockwaves through the hip-hop world. It would put him back in the center of a rap beef, reigniting a discussion about his place in the game and his views on other artists. But it's not just about starting drama. There's a deeper purpose behind it. Kendrick's artistry has always been about provoking thought and sparking conversation, and performing a diss track at such a high-profile event would undoubtedly do just that. On the other hand, Charlamagne's point is valid too. The Super Bowl is not just another concert. It's an international event watched by millions of people who may not be fully aware of the intricacies of hip-hop beefs. For some, a diss track could be seen as petty or out of place in such a prestigious setting. Kendrick could easily face backlash for using the Super Bowl as a platform for personal conflict, especially if the performance ends up feeling more like a public argument than a celebration of music.